welcome. We are at VeeamON. I'm here with Michael White from Veeam Software, and we're gonna talk about the new upcoming V10.
Hi, it's really good to talk about V10 with you. There's some really neat things. One feature in particular we've already talked about and we think is interesting is called CDP. And really what CDP means is you can have constant data protection, meaning, or continuous data protection actually, but you can actually have a schedule of less than, well, 5 seconds, you can have 15 seconds. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you should always do that interval, because of course if you have a really busy server, a SQL server that really has a lot of transactions, that might be a little hard on this server. Now there's no snapshots, but it might be never able to catch up its RPO, right? Because if it's always changing and every 15 seconds we're doing replication, it can be tricky. But it does mean you can do that if that's the right thing for you. You might pick 1 second or 5 seconds or 60 seconds, but you have the option. The other nice thing about that feature is you get to decide short-term and long-term how many copies you keep. So very, very powerful. I think that a lot of customers are going to enjoy the flexibility. Instead of using our traditional replication, which they still could, with a 15-minute interval or greater, but it uses snapshots, and CDP does not use snapshots. It uses the new vSphere API.
How the technology actually works? What framework does it use?
So the framework it uses is called VAIO, so VMware vSphere APIs for I/O filtering. When you enable CDP, it installs a filter driver according to the API on each host in your cluster. And then what happens is, as the writes occur in the VM, it sort of goes down an I/O channel to the hypervisor, which is normal, but there's now a filter driver that captures that information and sends it off to where it needs to go. So no snapshots, which is really good, and that technology from VMware, a very nice API, allows us to have very low RTO.
So it tracks the changes actually in real time,
Yes.
what's happening on the VM.
Yes, that's correct. It's pretty cool.
What
Can I
else?
mention something else?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
So I'm also really excited about the NAVS feature. I know a lot of customers that have NAVS, and being able to back up the NAVS in VBR's console with all the flexibility it offers is pretty powerful. And even one feature I joked about this recently, but you can actually decide how many deletions, how many copies of the deletions do you maintain. So really, really flexible. And again, short-term and long-term is used to decide how often I want to be able to restore in the short-term or the long-term, and we treat them separate. So very powerful functionality.
Excellent, excellent. Anything else you want to add?
Well, those are my two favorites, and we have a few other things that actually I can't talk about right now that are there. V10 won't be around for a little while. We're still working on it, but I would like to say that all of the demos we did on stage, except for one screenshot I used, everybody's demos were real. Now, some of them, the NAS, for example, it writes metadata right now, but the data mover isn't finished, so it's not actually writing the file data out, but the UI is all good, and the metadata writer is good, so we're close, but we're not quite finished there. But everything you saw was real.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.